What's up, YouTube? It has been so long. It feels that it has been so long. Uh, I think it feels, you know, that I have been on a break for such an extended period of time because I have been trying to make this video for some time now, and the contents of the video are such that, I've tried to practice way before I screen record what I'm about to show you, but honestly this time it wasn't even my fault. Like, there were certain factors that threw me off guard on this for this video, right? So first of all, let me explain what I did in this video. Basically, this video is all about me drawing, not drawing but rather coloring is a better term. I colored in black and white, uh, artwork of one of the covers from Batman: The Three Jokers, which is one of the greatest Joker stories ever. So I am assuming that you guys don't know that I'm a huge comic nerd. I read comics in my free time. I haven't read this comic because at that point of time I wasn't reading comics when it came out, but I was still following up on the story, and I really love the story. So I decided that I wanted to learn something new, and recently I saw a YouTube video basically on Photoshop, basically telling me how to color behind the black portion of a black and white, sketch, comic sketch, and I was like, this is intriguing, and I decided to give it a shot. And for the most part, it was working properly, but the thing is, the Photoshop in my laptop and my digipad on which I draw and color, I think they are not exactly compatible, because a lot of times the whatever I'm drawing on the digipad, it comes later on, it uh, shows later on the screen. Like, there's some sort of lag happening between the two, and it really threw me off guard. Couple of times I have tried to make this video, bunch of times before, but every time I was like not in the mood. Then this time I was able to make this because I had literally no internet. So I was like getting bored. So I wanted to do something interesting. So that's why I made this video. I mean, apart from that, I also wanted to color this one because I am practically new to coloring comic book black and whites. In general, I don't have a good background with coloring because I've always devoted a majority of my time on sketching. So the reason for that is actually kind of silly, but I think I never got to experiment with the kind of colors that I had back then. I always thought that I was lacking the colors that I actually wanted to practice on. So it was like a mental block back then. But now, because I have like pretty much every color in my disposal thanks to digital art, I think I gave it a shot this time, and I'm pretty alright with this first attempt. I think over the time I will gradually be able to make a better version of this, hopefully. But yeah, this is part one of this video. The second part is just me casually talking about comics. It's kind of a lifestyle video, I suppose, but I really wanted to talk just how the love for comics, is stemmed for me, and what are my favorite comics right now. So enjoy this video, first of all. Like, hopefully you enjoy me making this art, not making this artwork but coloring this artwork. And drop a like if you like this video, and comment down what you want to see for the next upcoming videos. And if I like one of your suggestions, then I will definitely do that. So for now, let's just jump onto the main content of the video. now that you have seen the entire time lapse of how I colored it, um, first of all, I would really like some constructive feedback on this one, because I'm still working on the study of light and dark shade and everything, and I want to devote a good time of my studies and my day-to-day activities on things that I actually want to learn. One of the main one of the recent things that I'm doing is like I'm sketching anatomy, body parts, human body parts, just to improve my real life, like on pen and paper kind of sketch capabilities. Mostly that. Uh, Apart from that, I think what I really wanted to do in this video was talk about comics. I think, yeah, pretty much. So I already told you guys that I'm really into comics. So I suppose that for me, comics is a really good way to engage my brain into really amazing storylines. I used to be an avid novel reader back in the day, but ever since I got like a phone of my own and I got a laptop of my own, I think I somewhere uh, I somewhere kind of lost my connection with reading this novel, and I feel like visible media is also very fun to experiment around with. So I became a fan of comics. I became a fan of animation. I was always a fan of them, but I think in my spare time nowadays, you know, I'm always thinking of doing things, and I'm just soaking that content a lot. So I think for me, comic books is a perfect medium because it combines the drawing style, the media, I guess, how would I say this? The kind of uh, storytelling through body language and everything, as well as reading some of it. I mean, of course, it's not proper reading if you think about it, but I still like to read. You know, no matter how meager, no matter in what sense the reading is. So I think the first time I ended up reading a comic book, it was when I purchased this set. Like, and I'm talking about comics in the sense that I'm talking about a major brand comic, and like the first time I've properly owned a major brand comic. So the first proper brand comic that I ever owned was DC's Deathstroke New 52 Volume 1. I think it was called The Gods of War or The God of War, I don't know, not sure. I'm pretty sure it's Gods of War. Yeah. So I bought a particular set for my birthday, for my, I think, 13th or 15th birthday, I'm not sure. It was a set where I got like a Deathstroke mask and I got the comic book. And yeah, the comic book was pretty fun. Not gonna lie, I really love the comic book a lot. And from there, I used to think that I have to buy real life, physical copies of a comic book to read what happens. Then uh, me and my friend, my best friend, in fact, Anirudh, our dads took us to our first Comic Con where we practically bought like our first comic books, in real life, because back then it was just an Amazon order, the Deathstroke one. But there we were really into the Flash TV series back then. I remember it was pretty cool. So yeah, we both bought a Flash comic. I think he was a sensible person and he bought the Flash Rebirth comic, not the Rebirth like after New 52 continuation, but the Flash Rebirth title more specifically. I feel like I just made zero sense. But yeah, anyhow, I bought the New 52 Volume 4. I think it was the introduction of the new Reverse Flash, the one which looks like a speed demon of sorts. He has the black skin and the red energy, whatever you want to call about it. but I really enjoyed his. I really like his character design a lot. So that just goes on to show, the just how I really got into comics, and from there, I started reading comics online since I cannot exactly afford comics on a regular basis, which just sucks because I really want to, support the comic artists in this in by buying their comics, but you have to make the most of it. I cannot just let go of my love for comic books at that point of time. So after that, I started reading comic books. I think up until in 11th grade, I was really reading comic books a lot, and then I just lost my connection with them. And just recently, I got back into reading comics like properly, a lot of comics. So currently, the titles I'm reading, I'm not sure if I'm going to spell them correctly. Uh, I'm reading Teen Titans Academy, which is coming out right now. I'm reading all of the current comics I'm reading are from DC because I'm a massive DC fan. I'm a massive Marvel fan as well. In fact, my love for comics, in fact, started from Marvel's. The different kind of content they put in front of you. Of course, MCU, great love, like one of my favorites ever. But then as I wanted to read more comic books, I think I always gravitated more towards DC because DC had like great stories and everything. And with Marvel, it's like it's a continuous storyline altogether. So I never understood where to jump in. But with DC, it was like I can start from New 52, and then before I could even complete New 52, I was introduced to Rebirth, and that's how the entire slope went about. So even when I'm not reading a particular comic book, I'm always following up by watching like most. I watch a lot of variant comics. The YouTube channel, you should definitely check them out. Uh, so that's how like I'm keeping up with comic books. But currently, the comic books I'm reading are Teen Titans Academy. I'm reading Nightwing. I'm reading Robin because Robin is one of my favorite characters in comics. All the four of all the yeah, I think the original continuity four guys. I also like Stephanie Brown Robin as well. I have read Superman. I'm a huge fan of Superman. Uh, I am. I have also completed the Shazam comic books because Shazam is my favorite comic character of all time. I think very safe to say I'm a huge Shazam fan, right? And this is way before the movie ever came about, and I'm so glad they did justice to the movie. Like, I can't believe they made such a great movie out of Shazam. But yeah, anyhow, so like I'm always on a rotation. I particularly avoid reading Batman because I feel like Batman gets very overrated because every Batman fan just comes up and they're like Batman is practically God. He will defeat everyone, and that kind of ruins the character for me. As sad as it is, I cannot exactly do anything about it. But yeah, I still follow up on whatever Batman is up to in the comics because Batman is a pretty fun character. So right now I think that's enough. That's like a lot of comics I'm barely being able to keep up with the comic universe in general. Only DC one, and also I won't be biased, and I would actually go on to say that Spider-Man's current run is also pretty interesting, and I'm also reading that. So I'm pretty much engaged, in reading comic books. It's one of the many reasons why I've also missed out on uploading videos. Like I never upload videos on a weekly basis, and I have just started this channel, so obviously I have to take some time in understanding what I want to do with the channel and whatnot. So it just takes me some time to come up with ideas, but right, I think that's enough for this video, and I hope you enjoy my insight on comic books, hopefully. And if you did, drop a like, and then of course comment down below what you thought about this video, and drop some constructive criticism on the coloring I did. Every bit counts, and every bit helps in that regard, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.